Hello, how you guys doing? Welcome to the Messy Sweet Spot. I just want to say thank you all for the likes and shares. Let's keep them going. Now, I do have a report to bring to you guys by the Breakfast Club. A lot of you guys know about the Breakfast Club, and I think it's important to hear different people's point of view about Jay-Z. If you guys did not know, Jay-Z has been accused of raping a 13-year-old alongside Diddy. They put stuff in her drink and they did the unthinkable to her. And now she is speaking out and she is filing a civil lawsuit. So the Breakfast Club is reporting it. And I think it's important to hear what they have to say about this. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. Let's react and see what they have to say. Are you guys ready? I know I am.
So y'all know it's been a lot going on over the weekend. We do see that Jay-Z was the latest person named in the Diddy lawsuit. And his story is like an onion. It's a lot of layers to peel back. And so I'm going to bring Lauren in here to do this because this is her first.
Because she called the sources?
This is her forte because she can contact anybody from the feds to Donald Trump.
There you go.
So I want her to come on in here. Come on in here, girl.
And I saw just trying to pronounce litigious this morning. Woo!
Well, I can think.
Just like-
I did a better job than you did. Don't play with me.
Yes. Okay. So look, not even a laughing matter, right? So over the weekend, actually last night, Jay-Z was named in a lawsuit. This is a federal civil suit. This lawsuit is one that we actually talked about before. So y'all remember back in October when Tony Busby filed that big bunch of lawsuits against Diddy.
That's the one that set up the hotline.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the start of all of that stuff, right around that time. So during that time when that was set up, there was a case that was mentioned. There was a 13-year-old girl who said she came to New York when she was 13 to go to the VMAs. She didn't have a ticket. She was just excited to be here. She met a limousine driver who said he worked for Puff. And he was like, I can't get you to the VMAs, but if you come back here after, I can get you to an after party.
Now, 13-year-old was with no parents, just by themselves?
She came by herself. She came by herself. So she was dropped off by a friend. Now that girl in that lawsuit originally back in October said she went to a party. It was a Puff party, allegedly. When she got there, she had some drinks. She started feeling a little crazy. And then she went to a room to lay down and take a little, a little minute away from the people. When she woke up, Puff and two other celebrities, celebrity A and B, were in the room, and she was raped, allegedly, in that room. She called her dad to come get her when she was able to get away from the party, who didn't know she was there, and then it caused her mental distress to this day. So that's why she was filing civil suit. So over the weekend, celebrity A was named as Jay-Z. So now that has shattered the internet streets, as you guys can imagine, because I think for a while people have been trying to place other celebrities in this and figure out who the other names are. And this is one of the biggest names outside of Diddy that we've seen named in all of this stuff. So now the civil suit still remains as is. The claims are still the same. The only difference is that she's saying that Puff was one of the people allegedly that raped her in that room, but that Jay-Z also participated, and that there was another celebrity who was a female, celebrity B, who watched. And she said that the woman is accusing Jay-Z and Puff of taking turns. Puff would, sexually assault her, rape her, and then Jay-Z would watch, and then allegedly Jay-Z would do the same, and then Puff would watch. And she says that no one helped her. The other celebrity that was in the room did not help her. Now, all of this happened, right? This all dropped. People were like, well, what the heck is going on? You guys remember when all this started dropping around Puff, it was statements from his attorneys trying to defend him.
Yeah.
Now with Jay-Z released a statement, I would say almost immediately once this happened. And his statement was very different. I made sure all of y'all had the statement.
Yes.
Alrighty, so this is a long statement. Normally we only pick pieces of it, but I think it's important for us to read the full statement.
You gonna read this whole thing?
We need to.
Okay, let's do it.
So it says, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt. This is a statement directly from Jay-Z. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt, called a demand letter from a lawyer, in quotations, named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations of the public scrutiny that would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer who I have done a bit of research on seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor.
Valor.
Valor. You have neither nor honor or dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I, he says my wife, but we know he's talking about Beyonce, because like, why wouldn't you just say Beyonce? My wife and I have to sit our children down now, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such that at their young age. It is unfair to have to try and understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to the true victims in the world. I want to get to this next part. You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me, that if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am.
That was a bar you
Don't
skipped,
play
though.
with me.
Yeah.
What?
Which one? Go ahead.
My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in
In
a
a cheap suit.
It was the cheap suit for me.
I used to
not
the
the
bar and the ambulance chaser.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people responded so much to this. Like, of course, this caused a big back and forth for people, putting out volunteered their own opinion of like, what do they believe? Is Jay-Z a part of this whole thing that people are beginning to believe
Man,
that
please.
Puff is a part of, or is he not?
But basically, his response is like, "Don't try me, try somebody else." You know what I'm saying?
I'm not the one.
And then what he said about like these lawyers who have these types of theatrics, they have a pattern of doing cases like this, and everybody case sound the same. It's like,
That's right.
They'll call you.
Underage girl, they was drugged,
Yeah.
raped. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I do want to mention too, because the first thing I thought of when I saw this, I said, oh, this is gonna, if Jay-Z is successful at what he is doing and he's not backing down, this is going to change the game for a lot of celebrities who get brought into these type of things. True, and if true, they serve consequences for it. But if not true, it's like it just goes away. But these stains are still on your record. You know what I mean? Because he's basically making a precedent for it, right?
Yeah.
So Diddy's team sent a statement over to us, and they basically said this amended complaint in the extortion lawsuit that Mr. Busby exposes. Because Jay-Z went on and filed an extortion suit against Busby. They're basically saying all of that is going to show y'all what we've been saying. Like, this is all just a publicity stunt. These are people chasing dollars.
Well, good for Hov. I'm glad Jay-Z responded just like that, because this has been going on for too long. It is a grift. These accusers go to these lawyers with all these salacious claims. The lawyer will put more sauce on the salacious claims. They reach out to your team and say, if you don't settle with us, we're going to go public with these claims. They'll tell you that they're going to hold a press conference. We're going to do interviews. And a lot of people settle because they don't want the bad press.
Where they don't have the money to
It happens
fight.
all the time, and like you said, the problem is it's very expensive, right? When you get these civil suits, it's very expensive, and like Charlamagne said, you'll go to the press.
Yep.
They'll make these press conference, and what they want to do is they want to make sure that you lose money. They want to make sure that you lose endorsements, lose sponsorships, lose everything, until you get to the point where you be like, you know what? Let me just pay them off and get away from them. But Jay got enough to say, look, I'm gonna fight this all the way. Now Busby, he responded, right?
I was about to say he did, but real quick, I want to say that I want to say that
We'll do part 2 next.
Okay, because there's some more to this. Because I reached out to the Southern District of New York, who, if it was to go criminal, that's who would take it on, and a few other people. So I want to get into
Could
that.
they
as
do
well.
criminal, or did the time already pass?
I'm not for sure the technicalities of that, because I know that people have been talking about it in like Texas. Is that what you're
Civil, I know civil they can after 30 years after
but
somebody's
this
18.
case was originally filed in New York, so I don't know, because I don't know what the feds are doing criminally about this girl anyway, just with Diddy. So we'll talk about it, because there's a few other points that we need to get to.
Okay.
Woo, girl, I tell you, things are getting hot out here in these streets. I want to know your thoughts about this. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot, and let us know, what are your thoughts?